Police in Russia have been conducting searches at several Moscow addresses connected to Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny.
Сейчас приедет мой адвокат через 15 минут.
Officers attempted to break down the door of his wife's apartment. They also searched Mr. Navalny's home, the offices of his anti-corruption fund, and his team's YouTube studio. The raids come after his team held mass protests in cities across Russia on Sunday, calling for the opposition politician's release from prison. Let's go straight to Emily Sherwin in Moscow. Welcome, Emily. Tell us more about these raids.
Well, we've seen really a flurry of these raids across Moscow this evening, almost simultaneously, including at the apartment that Alexei Navalny's wife is at, Yulia Navalny. We heard from the scene from our colleagues who are there at the moment that her lawyer has said that she's not being let into the apartment to see Yulia Navalny. The head of Alexei Navalny's anti-corruption fund has said that at least one of the people in the team has been arrested as well. And he also said that the police apparently say that these searches are part of a criminal investigation into calls to hold a protest during the pandemic, referring, of course, back to those protests that happened last weekend. But looking at it from a distance, it does feel a bit like a crackdown against the allies of Alexei Navalny.
Because, of course, Mr. Navalny is in prison and the demonstrations were broken up by police. So this is what? This is the Russian state flexing its muscles?
Well, some critics certainly might say that. We have seen after previous big protests as well, police and authorities opening criminal investigations against protesters, and that's what we've been seeing this week as well. The authorities have opened around 20 criminal cases so far against protesters, including for police violence, for calling for unauthorized, as they say, protests, for blocking traffic. So it could be part of that we're seeing at the moment, but it's also worth pointing out that these searches come almost at the same time as journalists from Bellingcat and The Insider and other media outlets published a new investigation looking into what they say are the same people who may have poisoned Alexei Navalny. They say that those FSB agents that they say were involved in that poisoning may have also poisoned at least 3 other public figures since 2014. So the timing of this is rather strange, I would say.
Emily Sherwin in Moscow, thank you.